Right, we've got some breaking news to bring you now, and that is that the PGMOL have acknowledged that VAR made a mistake yesterday. Carve, I think this may be unsurprising, but what can you tell us?
Well, look, straight after the game yesterday, PGMOL chief Howard Webb contacted. Now, the content of his conversations are private, but you would have to assume that he apologised on behalf of PGMOL. Well, it's all well and good saying sorry, but it does not affect the result of the game. Now, I think the reason that PGMOL have acknowledged that the decision was a mistake is that they think the decision was not in line with the principle of the referee's call. And also, it was not in line with the high bar for intervention, which should only be for clear and obvious errors.
When Thierry Henry speaks about football, people tend to stop and listen. Not just because of what he accomplished with Arsenal FC, but because he understands the emotional pulse of the game in a way few pundits do. So when he visibly lost his composure on live television after Arsenal were denied a penalty against Wolverhampton Wanderers FC, it immediately resonated far beyond one controversial moment. This was more than post-match analysis. It was the sound of deep frustration finally breaking the surface. The incident itself will join the long archive of debatable decisions involving the video assistant referee, VAR, but Henry's reaction is what truly captured attention. For many viewers, he articulated what supporters across the Premier League and across Europe have been feeling for some time now. VAR was introduced with the promise of removing clear and obvious errors, bringing fairness and precision to the world's most popular sport. Instead, it has often delivered confusion, inconsistency, and a creeping sense that football's emotional rhythm is being slowly disrupted. Henry's frustration did not feel performative. It felt personal, almost protective, as though he was defending something fragile. Football, at its best, is built on immediacy, the roar that follows a goal, the instant outrage at a missed foul, the continuous flow that makes 90 minutes feel alive. What many critics argue is that VAR, in its current form, interrupts that living rhythm. Celebrations now come with hesitation. Big moments are followed by long pauses and forensic replays. The spontaneity that once defined the sport increasingly feels conditional, subject to a silent review room somewhere off camera. For Arsenal supporters, the Wolves' decision landed on already sensitive ground. Fair or not, there is a growing perception among sections of the fan base that key calls have not consistently gone their way. Whether the data supports that belief is almost beside the point. In football, perception shapes emotion, and emotion shapes the conversation. Henry's visible irritation gave a powerful voice to that simmering unease. What made it especially compelling was that he did not sound like a partisan fan complaining about a single moment. He sounded like a former player worried about the broader direction of the sport he loves. The truth, of course, is complicated. VAR has undeniably corrected many glaring mistakes since its introduction. Offside calls that once depended on guesswork are now measured to the millimetre. Clear fouls that referees missed in real time are being caught. Few serious observers would argue that football should completely return to the pre-VAR era of purely human officiating. Yet the implementation continues to frustrate because the standard of clear and obvious still feels inconsistently applied. Similar incidents often produce different outcomes, and the lack of transparent communication during reviews only deepens the mistrust. What Henry's outburst really highlighted is the growing tension between football's emotional truth and its technological precision. The modern game is faster, richer, and more data-driven than ever before, but its global appeal still depends on raw human feeling. Every time VAR intervenes in a way that feels overly clinical or opaque, it risks widening the gap between accuracy and experience. Fans do not just want correct decisions, they want a game that still feels alive in the moment. VAR is almost certainly here to stay. The financial and competitive stakes in elite football make some form of video review inevitable. But moments like this should serve as warning signs for the sport's decision-makers. Supporters and former players alike are not rejecting fairness. They are asking for clarity, consistency, and speed. They want fewer moments where the joy or agony of football is placed on hold while the game disappears into a digital microscope. Henry's reaction on live television was powerful precisely because it was unfiltered. It captured a feeling spreading quietly across the football world, the fear that in trying to perfect the game, something essential may be slipping away. Until the balance between technology and emotion is better managed, expect more flashpoints like this, and more nights where the biggest talking point isn't the football itself, but how the game is being judged.